Hello everyone, good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time you're at right now. And welcome to the re-release of The Sins of a Family. You may remember in my WrestleMania 40 review that I voiced my displeasure about the quality of my older videos. So this video is first up on my list of free releases. As of this recording, I only watched 3 seasons of The Loud House. However, before any of you Lynn Loud Jr fans say anything, I have seen some episodes from the later seasons in the past before the previous version of the video was made. Before we begin, I ask that we give Mechai Loud some applause for not raging in the comments section of said version. Kudos to you. And by the way, if a certain episode like the one I'll be talking about today upsets you, there's no shame in that. So you won't have to deal with that "you need help if you get too upset over a piece of media lamau" nonsense from me. Now, without further ado, let's get this wagon train a-movin'. I hope you enjoy the video.
Tell me why the fuck do I do that? 2 racks on some Gucci shoes, why the fuck do I do that? Tell them why the fuck I do that? Who's that with you in a room, why the fuck do you do that? Tell me why the fuck do you do that? Girl, you know that I'ma die real soon, why the fuck do you do that? Tell me why the fuck do you do that?
Ding! 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 Ding!
You're an idiot.
Have you ever watched an episode that insulted and pissed you off so much that it made you want to watch the world burn? Well, that's me, with no such luck. And before you get on my case and say, "Bro, you're practically beating a dead horse at this point," I am fully aware of that. I just felt like making my own review of one of the most hated episodes of The Loud House. So you may as well get your drinks and snacks and get comfortable. It's gonna be a doozy. When you first look at the title card, it looks innocent enough, until you think about it for a few seconds and realize that it's not the case. This episode is anything but innocent, and only a sneak peek of the horrors that await us as we begin watching No Such Luck. The story begins with its protagonist Lynn Loud eating cereal and reading comics. That is, until he hears the voice of his older sister Lori and dives for cover underneath the table. She tells her siblings about her upcoming golf tournament that literally screams, "If you don't come to support me, then may God have mercy on your souls." The rest of the sisters go on and on about their respective activities, as Lincoln uses his stealth abilities that only fail against Lily. Luckily, he manages to keep her quiet. Ah, shit. Then he does his famous fourth wall breaks.
I know what you're thinking. Lincoln, why are you trying to get out of all your sister's activities? Well, you don't know my life. Once in a while, a guy just needs some time to himself.
You know what? That sounds pretty reasonable. And what does the episode have to say to that?
Yeah, no.
This character is one of Lincoln's older sisters. Her name is Lynn Loud Jr. and I hate her. She gets in his way and asks him if he will come to her softball game. To which he responds that he has important business to attend to. Lynn, being the jerk that she is, calls it lame and reminds him that he's the only one who hasn't come to support her. To which he replies it's because he was supporting his other sisters in their activities and apologizes that he can't do it today. Then this happens.
Sure you won't reconsider?
Seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? Threatening someone with a bat to force them to come to your stupid softball game? You could have easily accepted his decision and been cool with it because it's not like it's the end of the world. But no, you had to coerce him into coming to your game because that makes complete sense.
Sarcasm!
After watching this video, I promise you, you'll want to bury Lynn Loud Jr. 6 feet under. Unless you're a fan of hers. And just so we're clear, the simple fact that I am calling out fans for their immature behavior does not mean I am picking on them, despite what this guy would have you believe. We cut to the Loud family at Lynn's game and everyone is excited except for Lincoln. For obvious reasons. Lynn does her good luck rituals and all I can do is cringe. I'm not one for superstitions, but I can confidently declare that whatever she is doing is beyond stupid. But oh no, her team is losing to the opposing team. The Royal Wood Squirrels get wrecked and Lynn's sore loser is the big sad. Lincoln attempts to provide her emotional support, but she doesn't take it too kindly and says,
Stay back! You're bad luck!
What? Fucking what?
What are you talking about?
My team has been dominating all season. Then the one time you show up, we lose.
What?
That's ridiculous. I'm not bad luck.
Yeah, you are. Which is why I'm banning you from all future games. Now scram! I have to make things right with the softball gods.
You! Narcissistic clown. Your little brother tried to console you because you were sulking over a loss, and you insult him and blame him for your loss? Actually, who are you? Are you serious? Listen to yourself.
You're bad luck.
Shut up. After that absurdity, it cuts to Lincoln eating cereal and reading comics again until Lenny asks him if he will come to her charity fashion show and...
Lenny, no! He'll ruin your fashion show just like he ruined my winning streak. He's bad luck.
Really?
Lynn, this is a genuine response for me. Kindly f*** off. You just need a whipping boy to account for your shortcomings. You piece of shit sorry excuse for a sister.
Oh, come on, Lynn. That is absolutely true.
What are you doing?
I think I may be onto something here.
Dude, what are you doing?
Lenny, I'd love to go to your fashion show, but I'd hate for my bad luck to make you trip or jam a zipper or break a heel. The horror! Maybe you should sit this one out.
Okay, come on. Surely this plan could never work. Even if we accept the idea that Lenny would fall for his deception, there's no way the rest of his sisters would fall for it. Including his gosh damn genius sister Lisa. Right? Oh wait, they actually do fall for that fib. What? You too, Lisa? How? The supposed smartest sibling of the Loud House falls for that nonsense? Unbelievable. Legitimately blows my mind. Now we cut to a montage where...
Who's unlucky? I'm unlucky.
Kill me. Gee, I wonder if the parents have basic common sense who would see through his falsehood.
Wrong!
Even they fall for his claptrap. The gosh damn parents of the Loud House. How do you screw up this badly? Oh, but wait, it gets worse. Not only does he get banned from his sister's activities, not only does he get banned from eating at the kitchen table, not only does he get banned from going to the movies with his family, but he is also banned from his room.
What?
This is getting out of hand. Next thing you know, Lincoln will be forced to sleep outside. Perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself.
A few inches later.
Are you f***ing kidding me? I nearly lost my shit when I got to this scene. I could not believe what I was watching. It was like I was in a fever dream or something like that. This episode acts like kicking your own kin out of their home is a funny haha, but it's not. This is abuse, and the fact that people still defend the Louds even after all the bullshit they put him through is beyond me. Then again, there's always a reason for that. I'm going to take a break from talking about this episode because I want to address the hate them for the Lynn Loud Jr. hate them. Nothing makes my gosh damn blood boil quite like fans pulling that true fan Lamau card against people criticizing a character and wanting to see them get their comeuppance or being vocal on the episodes they hate. They are incapable of maturely responding to criticism. Nowadays, I notice people who care about the quality of a piece of media, whether it has to do with the story, world building, themes, or characters, are looked down upon, become the next lolcows for the amusement of the snobs, and are maliciously attacked online. Don't forget ridiculed. It especially grinds my gears when I see an art I enjoy, only to see a killjoy insulting the artist and saying that their statement is stupid just because of their reinterpretation. Like, seriously, Vincent Sophuok, where do you get the gall to deride the artist as an idiot for making quote-unquote hate art? You're just a jerk-ass, plain and simple. But you know what? You're not the only one guilty of insulting people for making art you despise. Bluespider17 is just as bad as Vincent. Oh, wait a second. I meant he takes the cake. Instead of just insulting people and talking down on them for making art he deems as hateful, as well as slamming people for their opinions, much like Vincent Sophuok, he fights fire with fire. Word of advice, everyone. If someone makes hate art out of your favorite characters, don't insult them. Don't call them out or make hate art out of them back. It's not doing you any favors. I'm not saying you have to like the art. You could criticize it if you want, but don't attack the artist who made it in the first place. It just makes you look immature. He may as well be a white knight for the Loud sisters and parents. White knight is too generous. Maybe a defense attorney sounds more appropriate. And the majority of his rant posts are good at one thing only, making you cringe out of existence. But you know what's more ridiculous? He labeled a user toxic all because he made a fanfiction he didn't like. A fanfiction that is not meant to hurt anyone in any way, mind you, just supposed to be a crossover retake of an existing episode. Tyler Collins. What the fuck is wrong with you? Is no one allowed to use their imaginations without being attacked anymore? It's not hurting anyone except for those who want to feel hurt by the art and cry themselves a river of tears of amity.
Getting mad at people for harmless fun? That's the real cringe.
But if that's not bad enough, such people love to play armchair psychologists and fail miserably in psychoanalyzing others for hating characters they like. To those who want to psychoanalyze someone on the internet, let me give you some advice. Don't do it. It doesn't make you sound smart. It makes you sound like a pretentious ass. I can't imagine any situation in real life where these two could spew out such verbal diarrhea to people that would end well for them.
You should be ashamed of yourselves.
In this section of the video, I will demonstrate how someone can handle criticism better than Vincent Sophuok can. And before I continue, allow me to get something straight right out of the gate. As stated in my Don't Decry People's Opinions video, I have no compunctions about showing public comments and posts in my videos or community posts. They were posted publicly on YouTube or any other website for people to see. Therefore, it is completely within my ability to display them in my videos or community posts. If it was a private message or email, that would be unacceptable. I would never show a private message or email to anyone without their permission. But a public comment or post is not immune from being displayed in this video. And just so we're clear, I'm not trying to be uncharitable towards anyone in this section. This is simply meant for educational purposes only. So for those who are featured in this video, I hope you understand and don't, hate me for it.
So, having said all that, let's get to it. In a guessing and roleplay post, thinks makes hate art. The latter corrects the former, leading them to realize their mistake and apologize for their accusation. The difference between and Vincent Sophuok is that the former acknowledges that they were in the wrong, whereas Vincent Sophuok's posts are treated as perfectly fine. And let's not forget the message his posts are sending. They're telling people, oh, don't worry, it's okay to belittle and demean those who hate a character that you like and those who care about the quality of the episodes. Piss off. According to Vincent Sophuok, if you have a problem with Lynn Loud Jr. and are vocal about it, then you're not a true fan. You ruined the show for others who see your criticism, and you need to shut up or get crucified for it. Awesome. Can you imagine if the celebrities Vincent Sophuok met knew how he treated a certain someone online? That would be awful. I'm convinced Vincent Sophuok has a hate boner for the hate-doms of characters that he likes. I may not like every character from the Loud House, but you will never hear me decry constructive criticism of its characters, let alone the main characters, and accuse them of forcing their opinions and not being real fans of the show. I would have to be unimaginably full of myself to even dare to tell someone that they're not a true fan of this series. But if you're Vincent Sophuok, you may as well talk like a maniacal Disney villain and say, "Mwahahaha! Look at these imbeciles being quite negative on various occasions. Like overreacting about something bad happening to Lincoln and wishing harm on characters such as Lynn, which is reckless behavior. But I'll show them all. I'll make hate posts to demonize the haters and accuse them of being negative influences and not real fans of TLH. And I will high constructive criticism on Lynn Loud Jr. to silence the haters once and for all. Who can stop me now?" Okay, that might have sounded a bit exaggerated, but my point still stands. Imagine if your favorite celebrities were to brush off your criticisms of the characters they play so callously and demean you for doing so. Imagine if the creators of the characters and the writers of the episodes were to go as far as to strike you down, insulting you for ever being vocal about what you don't like about their characters and criticizing certain elements of the episodes they wrote. Imagine if, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, your favorite content creator called you out for being critical of even one of their works. And could you even imagine if your favorite author ever lashed out against their fans for their hatred towards a particular character? The book series would have expired immediately. Has a better understanding of how to address criticism than you are. Let that sink in for a moment. I remade an art that I made a long time ago to rant about the episode where I had one of my OCs perform a stone cold stunner on Lynn Loud Jr. Even if it didn't happen in the actual episode, don't make no mistake, it would actually be the coolest thing in the world if it happened. At the end of the day, it's just my opinion of what should have happened in the episode. You can even call it a guessing and roleplay art as well. But I guess according to Vincent Sophuok, I'm an idiot making hate art.
Oh yeah, that is what you think, am I right? Am I wrong? You would put a label on me because that's what you people do. You put labels on things that you do not understand.
If this one art was enough to label them that bullshit, then I have no reason to doubt that I would be called the same thing or something similar to that, especially for making my Enough is Enough retake. Let me tell you something, Vincent. Responses like this make me want to smash my face into a wall. And it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that you completely lack basic common sense such as not slamming people for having different opinions and losing your mind over art you despise that is harmless while simultaneously insulting the artist. If you actually thought there was a way to defend your immature behavior, then you would have done that. You would have actually tried to come up with counter-arguments to my criticisms. But you didn't do that. Because I was incredibly thorough in criticizing your childish behavior, and that the person you denounced would have already faced bullying or harassment, as well as your complete inability to take any criticism. So instead, you blocked me and resorted to the pitiful defense of, "Oh, you're mistaken. They're just forcing their negative opinions and ruining a show before an episode airs." And to top it all off, you provided zero evidence to back up your claims about their supposed obnoxious and awful actions, and proceeded to laugh like a hyena when I responded to your post. Well, guess what? Your attempts to twist my words are futile. And no, I will not be using the "if you were a true fan" argument here because it is literally irrelevant. If the celebrities you met saw your responses to the same person you denounced, they would be ashamed of you, and so would everyone else in their right mind. Yet here you are, too prideful to admit you're wrong or apologize to the person who committed the internet sin of expressing their opinions. And these people are nothing more than a bunch of glorified yes men. I would love to see the look on your face if you were to read some of my favorite fanfictions of all time and insult the authors for making them. Not smiling so much now, are you, Mr. Sophuok? Okay, back to the septic tank. Lincoln hears that the parents plan to take his siblings to the beach to celebrate and wants in, but they reject him even when he begs them to be reasonable. Then this happens.
You're bad luck, Lincoln. You can't come.
Seriously, heartless bitch. I hate Lola Loud. I hate her. Please punk kick her Randy Orton style. She's absolutely insufferable and you just want to put on some boxing gloves and punch her in the face every time you see her. But she's just a kid, dude. You can't say that. No, shut up. I can say whatever I want in this video and you can't tell me what to do or say, gosh damn it. This little shit should be put through a shredder. End of story. Lincoln discovers the terrible truth that he fucked up. Or at least that's what the episode wants you to believe. Please remember this for later. He confesses his sins only for his family to deny him atonement.
Nice confession, Loud.
You weren't much help.
That's it.
But just when all hope is lost, he shakes more acorns out of his pants and has an idea. I swear, if I have to deal with any more of this hogwash, then I think I'm going to go f***ing insane. We cut to the Loud family at Lynn's game and I'll just let you see for yourself.
What's with that squirrel today? His choreography is so dated.
You should have died at birth.
My plan is simple. I watch the game in disguise, and when the squirrels win, everyone will see I'm not bad luck.
I have a few questions for you, Lincoln. 1. How did you manage to get the squirrel mascot suit? If you stole it or something, then someone is eventually gonna get it back. 2. What's going to happen when your family finds out that you were in the squirrel suit the whole time? But hey, I'm going to make the generous assumption that your family will stop believing that you have bad luck and you all live happily ever after without any more trouble. Right?
Talk about bad luck. Everything is going wrong for the squirrels today. What do you think, Pep?
I think I've wasted my life.
How about you shut your f***ing mouth before I duct tape them shut?
Lynn Loud steps up to the plate, but with the luck she's been having today, the squirrels are looking a whole lot like roadkill.
Says the one who actively participated in ostracizing your own brother Lincoln, you f***ing hypocrite. How about I call Sharky to burn your hair off with a flamethrower?
No pitch.
Lynn's right. I am bad luck.
Motherfucker! Congratulations, you monstrous, pathetic, cruel ass. Thanks to you, Lynn, your own brother has now been gaslighted into thinking he is bad luck. At this point, Lynn Loud Jr. is on par with Roman Reigns in terms of family abuse, which is really saying something. But you know who else is really saying something?
And the pitch. It's going. It's going. It's going. Lynn Loud hits a grand slam. Squirrels win. Squirrels win.
Well, what do you know? Lynn's team won against all odds. How convenient! Okay, now would be a good time to take off the mascot suit. Alright! Whether or not his family saw Lincoln in the squirrel suit, if they saw him, they would immediately assume he was good luck due to Lynn winning. Why? I don't f***ing know anymore.
Guys, it's me. I was here the whole time. This proves it. I'm not bad luck.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Wow, Lincoln, I'm really sorry.
You should have known that the entire gosh damn time.
Sorry, we sold all your furniture. Wait, what?
I slightly dislike you.
And so it was that the Loud family lived happily ever after, except for Lincoln, who has to keep the squirrel suit on since they view him as their good luck charm. Thus, this nightmare finally f***ing ends. Do I need to explain what's wrong with this episode? Oh, f*** it. We've gotten this far. Let's review. This pile of horse manure teaches that you have to dedicate all of your time to support your family's events without having any time for yourself or you're selfish. And if any of your family members are supposedly cursed or claim to be cursed, you're better off to kick them out of their own home. These are horrible messages, and I'm telling you, they are not the roads you want to go down. But that is nothing compared to how the episode handles its characters. No Such Luck portrays Lincoln Loud as a selfish brat who needs to redeem himself by earning the respect of his family back. The episode tries to paint him in the wrong and does make a point that you shouldn't lie to get what you want. but the consequences that follow make him pitiable rather than making you feel that he truly deserves it, despite what some people will have you believe, because anyone in their right mind would be disgusted with how poorly he was treated in the episode. And even worse is that the episode drags him through the mud with no justification whatsoever, while his family gets away with their sins unscathed. Speaking of his family, they're just plain terrible to him, as you all saw. Not only that, but their actions, especially that of the parents, render ties that bind entirely meaningless. Remember when we said we'd never throw any of our kids out?
Not anymore!
Get lost and take your bad luck with you. Not helping matters is the fact that the writer of the episode, for short we'll call her Carla, also wrote that episode. Whether NSL was written out of malice, incompetence, or obligation, it's still a giant middle finger to the former either way. You're welcome to take your pick. And character development doesn't mean shit if people are still rightfully angry at Lincoln's family for what they did to him, especially if they never received their well-deserved comeuppance. And to address the defense a certain user made concerning the Loud family's actions against their son and brother, allow me to play a clip from my late April Fool's video, The Greatness of Lynn Loud Jr.
Here's how loving the parents are throughout the show, which does give credence to them taking seriously their promise of never kicking out their kids. The sisters have done nice things for Lincoln and have felt bad when wronging him. They did nice things like making a concert sing that he's the best dang brother anywhere around. They gave up their comfy roommate arrangement so that Lincoln would be comfortable. They risked trouble with their own classes so that they could help Lincoln with his school project. They helped him fight a dragon so that he wouldn't have to do it by himself. And when Lincoln told them how unspecial he felt, they reassured him how special he is to them. All of these great moments are more than enough to make it impossible to believe that No Such Luck even has a little more canon than just a nightmare. They are a loving family who, despite their differences, will always love each other.
Riddle me this. Would you accept this defense if it was literally a family that kicked out their own flesh and blood in the real world? Or is it okay because they're cartoons? Because I refuse to adhere to that. Now you know why I hate this scene from the Loud House movie. Now we should talk about Lynn Loud Jr. as a character. She is an awful sister and the most detestable character in the episode. She is emotionally manipulative, coerces her own brother into coming to her game, and is rotten to the core. She turns her family against Lincoln under the ridiculous belief that he is bad luck, gaslights him into thinking so, feigns remorse when Lincoln confronts her while wearing the scroll suit, and never faces any repercussions whatsoever. And before you say, "Oh come on dude, you're being like way too harsh on Lynn Loud Jr. right now bro," she gets better in the later seasons. Yeah, you hold on to that thought for now and we'll see if it holds up or not. She may have her good moments here and there. She is my most hated Loud sister, alongside Lola and Luann. If this episode caused you to stop watching the Loud House completely, or alternatively stopped you from watching the show in the first place, I understand. I too would have stopped watching if I were you. But the reason I continue to watch the show is that, despite it all, it does have a share of good or at least tolerable episodes, even in the later seasons. But sadly, things can only go downhill from here, and No Such Luck certainly doesn't change that. And I don't give a rat's ass if the episode has been decanonized. It doesn't make the initial impact sting any less.
Ya got that?
Imagine if No Such Luck was seen by a group of mask-wearing vigilantes. This episode deserved a proper ending, but all I got instead was a reminder that the writers, showrunners, and/or the executives behind the show have a vendetta against Lincoln Loud, as they have no compunctions treating him like a punching bag, repeatedly making torture episodes out of him, and turning multiple characters against him whenever the plot requires it, with the worst offender being Lynn Loud Jr. A sorry excuse for a sister who held on to her superstition over her love for her family and couldn't let go of said superstitions to save her life, resulting in a character who doesn't deserve the title of a tough girl with a heart of gold in any way. Piss off and die, you soulless, egomaniacal, sore loser. Well, that was a f***ing nightmare. If you like Lynn Loud Jr. as a character, that's perfectly fine. You can like and dislike any character you want. We're all entitled to our opinions, and we should not be at each other's throats just because we are vocal about the characters we like or dislike. That's unprofessional. If you're looking for more videos to watch on my channel, then you're in luck. Earlier I mentioned my WrestleMania 40 review, the satirical Lynn Loud Jr. praise video, and a retake on the Loud House creepypasta Enough is Enough in this video. So if you're interested in checking any of them out, you can watch them by pressing or clicking the links in the description. There are plenty of more videos I didn't mention for you to check out on my channel. I hope you enjoy them. Other than that, I would like to thank you all for watching this video, and please let me know if you prefer this version of the video or the old one. Until next time, this is Briox, and I'm out. Take care, everyone.